even go over because there's so much and we only have an hour. But we did start this group, GSA, we call ourselves Outreach, to initially to educate the students in the program about clinical implications when working with the LGBT community, as well as the support group for any individuals within the community, what it means to be a student, as well now in more community-based and doing community events. That's always available to anyone. If anyone's ever interested, we have those meetings every other Friday. So without further ado, each person's going to give about like a 7 or 8 minute story to focus on really whatever concept they want. That, and I want you to look at this from both a clinical perspective, but really just as a human being experience. So who would like to go first?
I guess I will.
Okay, thanks, Sophie.
I know where it starts anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Sophie, and I am a male to female transsexual. I was assigned male at birth. I identify as female, always have, really. I fought it for a long, long time. I went through a lot of denial, and it pretty much tore me apart. I got to the point where I was suicidal, and I just didn't want to live anymore. That happened in January 2014. I had that crisis. And I'm married, been married for 15 years. My wife's known most of that time. I've been open about it with her. And I did cross-dressing for a while. I tried a lot of different things to manage it and to cope with it. And ultimately it all failed. And I got to the point where I said I just didn't want to live anymore. And so I made the decision, we made the decision together really, that, and we have a daughter also who knows too, and is very supportive, that I would start hormone therapy and start transition. I've been on hormones now 11 months, and I had to go through some counseling therapy before that to just kind of be officially diagnosed with gender dysphoria. And I was, and it happened pretty quickly, and I'd had counseling before, so that was, I kind of knew what to expect. And so there's a lot of things involved in it, a lot of medical professionals involved in this transition. I take, I've been on depression meds for a long time, so that's continued, and my mood is always being watched and analyzed, and so I started hormone therapy, and things started to get better almost immediately. Within the first week, people were noticing that I seemed different, that I seemed much happier, more relaxed, more. A lot of the dysphoria kind of just sort of turned off. It just kind of went away. Not entirely, of course, but a lot of it did. And I was a lot easier to live with, my wife would tell you, because I was not an easy person to live with before that. A lot of times I was depressed, I was withdrawn, I didn't enjoy things much. Now I do. Now we go places, we do things, I'm much happier, and we're like best friends and everything. And so gradually though, transition with hormones, there's physical changes that happen, and I started exploring. Actually, before I started hormones, I started going to church as Sophie. And I'm a very accepting church, which is a UCC church, and I have a lot of friends there and who accepted me, no problem. And I kind of took it step by step, small steps in the beginning. Hormone therapy, and then I started doing pretty much spending the whole weekend with Sophie, and then it was everywhere but work, and work was the last step, and that happened in November. I'm a public school teacher, high school teacher, which is scary. It was very scary for me, because I didn't know how people would react. I teach in a rural school district, and people there are not exactly very educated about things like this. So I had a first meeting, I was second year at that school district. I've been teaching this is my 16th year teaching English, high school English. I've taught college level too. And so at that district, I'm second year probation period. And everyone told me, don't do it yet. Wait until you're tenured, then transition. I didn't listen. I listened to myself. I listened to what my needs were. And my needs told me I have to do this, I have to do it as soon as I can. It was something I really wrestled with and struggled with. And